After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 609. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024, as we are recording. Yes, we are in September.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. My name is Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
Want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you're new, we're glad that you found us. We hope you see something that you like. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back with us. If you are new or returning but are kind of hanging around in the shadows and you'd like to be a little more visible, you might want to consider pressing the little subscribe button, I think somewhere below the video there, and the little bell that tells you, when you want to get notifications. We only notify basically once a month at this point, but if you want to get notified for when that is, you can just tap the little bell, especially if we sometimes do it Tuesday, sometimes do it Wednesday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to take part in the alongs and the camaraderie and chats and all stuff more than you can on YouTube, that's at our home group, which is PHN PHMFreeforms.net.
PHM Podcast. I think it's PHMPodcast.freeforms.net.
It is. Yeah, I think you're right. It's PHMPodcast.freeforms.net. It's in the little description below the video. Mm-hmm. Before we go any further, we want to welcome a new member to the PHN group, Yarn Girl 22. She joined just after the last podcast.
Welcome.
I think it was. So we didn't get a chance to welcome her on the podcast. So her, our Yarn Girl, I'm assuming it's her. So we will welcome her to the podcast group, and we're glad she's there, and we hope that she will join in on some of the activity there when she feels like she wants to.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was a pretty good guest to go. Her, that's
with Yarn Girl. Yeah.
If you look, well, even regardless, if you look at our analytics for this channel, we're almost 100% female.
I know, but I never want to assume.
No, yeah.
I remember poor Paulie being the only guy for a while. I think it was. I guess Paulie and George were together for a long time, so maybe we always had two.
Maybe for a while, Polly was the only active.
Yeah. But it's always better not to assume.
Yeah.
So, okay. How are we doing this?
Well, you have more projects.
I have two.
Mine's a design. Mine doesn't count. Because that's like counting your yarn that you dye for the shop.
All right. This, in my Adagio, I haven't decided I don't want to change my mug yet. I may have to replace this mug because sometimes it leaks on the bottom. This is my Owl in the Forest
I've never
mug.
been able to figure out what's up with the design of this mug that it does that. Because it's not the first time I've noticed one doing that.
Has yours done that before?
I forget which one of mine has done that.
It's only one of mine. It doesn't do it all the time.
I can't figure out why, though. It doesn't. It just did it now. I'm not sure if it's something to do with the double wall or...
I don't know. But in this, the mug is Adagio. The tea is Whistling Kettle. It's salted chocolate caramel. Chocolate salt.
It's
caramel salt chocolate.
No.
It's something salted caramel and chocolate. However, the rendition is.
I think it's chocolate salted caramel.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's either chocolate salted caramel or salted caramel chocolate. Whatever one it is, that's it. I actually bought 2 bags of this, 2 4-ounce bags, so I wouldn't have to keep going back because I drink this a lot. Mm-hmm. Right now it's one of my comfort teas. It's one that if I don't want to eat food, but I want something a little more substantial, I usually put a little non-dairy creamer in here, so it keeps it from bothering my stomach if it were to do such a thing.
Yeah, because it is a black tea. Mm-hmm. And Whistling Kettle's site doesn't let you know
what kind of black tea.
What kind of black tea they have.
Yeah, usually it's just the Ceylon that bothers me. I haven't had too much trouble with some of the others, I don't think, as long as I steep them correctly. And I can have Ceylon as long as it's part of a blend and it's lower.
Right. Now, for me, still in the mug, I've been I've been going through a period where I just use mugs for a certain amount of time, and then I'll clean it, and then I'll use a different mug for a certain amount of time.
That's what I do too.
So I've been using my Expressions of Darth Vader mug, and in here I've been on a bit just going on with my Black Dragon Pearl for a while. This was the first tea I ever picked up from Adagio. Now it's one of the ones that it's one of the pricier Adagio.
Keep talking. I just thought you had a seam there.
Oh.
That's the way the light is.
Yeah, that's just the way it lies because the seam's actually underneath. It's one of the pricier of the Adagio teas. Just Adagio, not one of the personal blends. It's because the
Is it one of the master blends?
No,
So it's just one of the pricier on the normal site.
yeah, because it's rolled up.
It's one of those that blooms.
Yeah, it's not like blooms like. Not the ones that I used to pick up some that would actually bloom into a flower.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's not like that.
It just opens up.
It just opens up. They're in little balls. It's Black Dragon
Little pearls.
Yeah, little pearls. Black Dragon Pearl. And they tell you how many pearls to add to. You don't need a spoon to add.
You can pick it up with your fingers and
Yeah. And I forgot how good this was. It's been a long time since I've had it.
Ty and I both tend to go through times where we're like, I want this tea. Mm-hmm. And when I do my teas, if I have more than one tea, I have to kind of watch because I don't want to have too much caffeine late. After about 3, I have to have no caffeine. Mm-hmm. And between about 11 or 12 and 3, I can have moderate caffeine. Mm-hmm. So this one that I'm having right now is moderate caffeine.
Yeah, I end up playing this game where I try to convince myself the caffeine actually does something for me, but I know it's a lie.
This is good.
Yeah, it is.
This is good. Not smoky. That's really good.
From what I understand, I can't remember why this. I think it's probably the rolling process that makes this one a little bit more expensive in balls.
Yeah, this more labor intensive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have to go back to seeing how I can do my bigger mugs now that we're getting to the colder season. I know that I'm going to see if I can still stick to 1.5 teaspoons of sugar if it's something that needs more sugar, like a black tea. Mm-hmm. But I know that I could need slightly more. But I also probably won't have as many cups.
Right. Now, the thing is, you don't like it when your tea gets too cold.
No, that's what a warmer's for.
Yeah, you never use your warmer, which is why I brought that up.
Or I might, heathen that I am, put it in the microwave and warm it up again.
Honestly, if you're at the point where you have to consider doing that, why don't you just make your small cups of teas like you've been doing?
Because I want to use my big cups. I want to use my thank God ahead of time mug, and I want to use my Memento Mori.
Yeah, so you're either going to have to start using your warmer.
Mm-hmm. Because I have some really nice mugs that mean something to me that are larger.
Yeah.
You know, Crystal gave me one. I think Laura gave me one. Mm-hmm. So it's just, Anyway, that takes care of that. We do have, are you done with the tea? Mm-hmm. We do have 2 alongs going on. We are in the last month of this along, right? Let me see. Are we finished? March, April, May, June. No, I guess we're in the last month.
Yeah, we're in the last month because it's October, November, December.
That's with the toy along and everything.
Yeah, because I remember that when I wanted to work on a toy during retreat one year, in the hotel room, I realized that wouldn't count for.
Although you don't have to start the toy if you were in that time.
No. But I was, at that point, I was crocheting a lot.
Right.
Quicker, and I was still on night shift schedule.
Right. So we are still.
I'm still kind of on night shift schedule.
We have about 4 weeks, full 4 weeks left of the alongs that we are currently. One of the alongs we're currently doing. The other one's all year. Mm-hmm. So we have. The first one is the anything goes, and that's exactly what it means. It says anything goes, as long as it's knit, crochet, loom knit, weaving, and paper crafts, I think we said. And if you're uncertain about something, just ask us and we'll tell you.
Well, and most importantly, it's in the group, because that's where all the important information is. It
is. But sometimes I might, somebody might say to me, oh, hey, I do this.
Right.
Like say Margaret, when she was here doing more stuff, is machine knitting allowed?
Right.
Yes,
right.
that would be allowed. It's knitting. Somebody might say is felting allowed. That might or might not.
Right. Right. No, the only reason why I mention is because you're mentioning things that are probably already in that group description, and people
Right.
can't
Right.
take part unless they're joined anyway.
No. What I'm saying is that some of the questions they could ask may not
No,
be.
no, no.
on the
I understand.
list.
I understand that.
Okay.
I think that you're misunderstanding me, but that's okay.
I don't care. I can't get into this. What is the Lori? I can't even right now. Okay. Anyway, so this one goes all year, and all the particulars are in the group, including the featured yarns and featured patterns, and what to do if you want to get 2 chances at a prize or 3 chances at a prize. Just be aware that that's only available to you if it's a finished object. Okay. The other one that and the hashtag is, what is the hashtag? I'm sorry if it looks like if I'm moving around a lot. My Kindle doesn't always pick up my show notes, so I'm working on my Paperwhite, and it's a lot smaller, and so I have to scroll more. Okay, and this is, I can't find it. It's in the group. I can't find it right now, the hashtag for this, so you can go ahead and look that up. The other one we're doing is a cardiac dysautonomia arthritis make along, so that's CDA, MAL, and this, the featured patterns, yarns, groups, everything that's featured is in the group. This goes to the end of September, and all the particulars are in the group. The hashtag for this one is PHNCDA 2024. Okay, that takes care of. Oh, there are the colors. I do want to mention the colors in case you think you're interested and you want to start before you get in the group. Colors are shades of reds, pinks, blues, purples, and teals. Someone asked me about turquoise. If it's shaded toward blue, turquoise will be acceptable. Okay. All right. So that takes care of that. I need a drink. I need a drink. All right. Let me see what we got here. I'm trying to find my first project. Okay. The first one I worked on, you haven't seen this one in a while. I don't know where my hook went.
Do you not have a hook bag in that one?
I think I put it in the other bag by mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Put the hook or the hook bag?
The whole hook bag.
Oh, okay.
Because if I remember correctly, I always had my other one stuck in the project.
Mm-hmm.
This hook bag is courtesy of Christina. She makes the best hook bags ever. So, yeah, that's the right hook. So this is the cherry bomb shawl I'm making for Talia. And I did a little bit of work on it this week while I was, watching a movie or sitting in a doctor's office or something. I forget. No, it probably wasn't a doctor's office. I had something else I was working on.
Yeah, because I didn't think that you brought... I thought that when you took Davina to her appointment, you actually had decided to take a break for your hand.
I brought something.
Did you? Okay, I couldn't remember because you mentioned that you were going to take a break.
I can't remember. I'll have to ask Davina because she was sitting there talking to me. So she probably remember. I think I did bring it with me.
Okay, because I know before you left, you said that you were not going to, but you might have changed your mind.
Right. Now, I was thinking about, you guys have seen this one multiple times, and I'm doing a yellow one for Ty that I've kind of got on hold. And I was thinking about doing a personal use on the yarn that I have for Daffodil, so I can get working on Taya's shawl for that one as well. I was curious what you think about that. I'll always make my own decision. I'm just kind of curious what you would do.
Well, is it the right weight even?
Yeah, I've got a DK and I've got fingering saw.
Oh, okay.
So I was just curious what you think, because I don't know when I'll have time to put that together again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to get started on some of the yarns that are more seasonal.
Right.
Not that I'm
not that you're really
concerned. I like to do what I like to do, and if people like it, they can buy it.
Well, the whole reason you're dying is for your own enjoyment.
It is. I also have an eye for what people like.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna. I'm not necessarily gonna stick strictly to seasonal palettes. Like in the summer, I part of the reason my shop is so slow in the summer is that I don't do much in the summer because I don't really like the colors that much.
Mm-hmm.
I do some of them, but it's just not quite my wheelhouse, if you will. But yeah, so I was just curious what you thought. If personal use, it just means I have to claim it as personal use on my taxes, and there's no big deal on that. I've done that many times. But I thought I'm stalled on my project otherwise. You know, it's just sitting there in my bag.
Right.
But anyway, so this is the shawl. You saw the progress I made on it. It is, I mean, it's big enough to be a little shawlette.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to.
And for a child, it would be pretty close to a shawl.
Yeah. This is how much I have left of this color. And I'm kind of just basically, I'm not doing like any number of rows or anything. I'm just kind of going to when it stops.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's all that yarn was stuff that basically.
I'm stash busting.
Yeah.
And Talia was stash busting. A lot of these
Well,
yarns are
yeah, I think almost all, if not all of them, are from my stash.
The one that's not is my yellow one. The yellow one I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's my yarn.
Except for Miss Babs.
Is that the other? I'm using Miss Babs, right?
You're using Miss Babs in the one that you're dyeing.
Am I using the goldenrod or whatever it is? Squash Blossom.
Yes, you're using Squash Blossom. I grabbed a bunch of Squash Blossom that I had that wasn't allocated for other projects, and passed that on to you. And then you're dyeing the other color.
Daffodil, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically that.
Okay, so well, actually, this landed at a good time because I finished what was on my needle.
Oh, excellent.
So, this is. I don't know why I thought I had another one finished. This.
Because I have 3 feet.
No, I don't have the first one finished.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
No. That's what I thought too. But I think it's because I was working on the blue ones for so long, and for a long time I had the first one, that one finished.
Oh, right. I like this. I hope you're able to finish for Christmas. I'm not worried about it if it doesn't.
Yeah, because I know that
it could be birthday.
I have to cast on Dad's.
Yeah, Daddy's is first.
Christmas socks.
Daddy's is first. I can easily.
Yes, if you had dyed this up a lot sooner, yours would have had a better.
You had plenty of time with when I dyed it up.
Well, what happened was the other project came up that was time sensitive.
But don't blame me then.
I do blame you because
No.
I was asking you for like 2 years.
No. But I never asked for it before that.
But I was like for years being like, hey, you might want to dye that yarn up. Yeah.
But I didn't. I have to. For me, dyeing yarn is almost like when I'm writing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have like a creative burst.
Well, it took you had several creative bursts. You just kept forgetting.
Well,
First you hadn't decided on color. It took you like a year to actually decide on
yeah,
color.
I couldn't decide if I wanted Blue Christmas or if I wanted that. And I may dye up Blue Christmas. I may dye up an extra Blue Christmas when I dye up Blue Christmas for the shop, so you have it.
Yeah. No, that would be. Although you would have to decide if you want it in. I don't know if you still have this. You probably don't. I think Davina got you exactly what you needed for this base.
Oh, that base. That's the yeah.
Because this actually does best in a heavy,
I have a DK nylon base.
Yeah, because you don't want sport.
No, this is
This is a heavier stock, and while I have made it in DKs,
okay.
This is actually a worsted sock.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I can look that up.
Because you definitely want a warmer.
Mm-hmm. I know where to get that base.
Yeah, because this is a worsted sock. And with this pattern, I think that while I've made it with Miss Babs in the past...
it falls apart, though.
I think that it's best to take advantage of the fact that it does require a heavier base, because then you get a warmer
and
sock.
Cushier.
Yeah, a cushier sock.
I will probably go ahead and pick up. You need 2 of them?
Yes.
Okay. I'll probably pick up maybe 2 or 4 of them and put together
just
colors.
that you have, them available, yeah.
And if people like it, maybe I'll put it in the shop. Because that's one of my, yeah.
But yeah, I figured just kind of let you know, because
while I might do a sweater, slight as that is, I might do another crochet sweater, I will probably never do socks. I think the chances of me doing squares is better than me doing socks. I can do squares, I just can't do anything with them because I get bored, or I think that's part of it. It's not even that I can't, because I started picking up. I just get bored.
Well, what's so weird about that is you crocheted the same shawl 20 million times.
I know, but it's...
And you're changing colors with the squares, especially with something like mitered square. It doesn't... I don't understand how it's any different for you than doing a courthouse step.
I wish I could still access Kay's videos. I think you gave me a video as well about doing the no, I think yours was Magic Loop.
Yeah.
Kay's video, I really liked the way she showed how to do connecting as you go, and the only way I can do that is if I'm a member of Patreon, and I'm just not there right now. I wouldn't get my money, not because they're not good. I think they're fantastic.
But you're not doing enough of
I'm not doing enough of that kind of stuff anymore. I would rather put my money towards something maybe with paper crafts.
Well, that's why you're considering, like, when you run out of your discount or free for crafty, whatever you're at, you're considering re-upping.
Because I'm not going to give up knitting and crocheting. I like it too much.
But you're diversifying.
But my portfolio. I'm diversifying my portfolio. But if I could look at that again, that's the only thing that might get me to maybe do the squares, because I do like the way Kay does it. And I can kind of see now why she does the smaller squares. I don't like...
Well, let's use it smaller amounts of scraps.
Well, also, it's done faster.
Yes.
And I
mean, you have more ends to weave in.
Yeah, but if I weave them in as I go.
Yes. I know I was very good the first time around for, like, a good portion of the first blanket of weaving as I went. And then I was working out when I was... the year I got really sick.
Your first, yeah.
My first... Actually, it might have... Well, I've been working on it for a while.
I think it was your first surgery because you wanted to have it...
No, I had it before then. I've had it for a while.
No, I meant that you wanted to finish it for the surgery.
I know the project I was working to try.
I know you had the shawl thing.
Yeah, no, I had it finished. I just didn't have the ends woven in, I think, by the surgery.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, but for a while I was weaving the ends as I went. Right. But then it was. I can't remember if it was during the period of time where I started getting sick and started having to change jobs, or if it's during a period of time where I got that really bad sinusitis.
I remember that, yeah.
Whatever it was, I wasn't feeling well, and I just decided to stop weaving in ends because all I wanted was a little dopamine hit of adding a new color. So after that point, I just fell out of the habit of weaving my ends as I went, and then at the end, it just ended up me, like, sleeping with my blanket upside down, so I didn't get tangled in the in the unwoven
very
ends.
Bohemian. Very bohemian. Okay, so I think
it's all woven in now.
Yeah. Let me just...
Oh, I measured your sock with that cool little tool.
The one I got you for Christmas?
Yeah. You're a couple inches off still for me being able to do the toe.
This is really... I love these socks. They're kind of like leg warmers, but you get to wear them on your feet. Well,
that's why eventually I'm going to knit a pair for myself, because I would only be wearing them over compression socks anyway, and sometimes I get so darn cold.
Yeah, I would probably be wearing them over my socks anyway, if I'm in the house, and then I can take them off when I go on the machine or whatever. Yeah. Although I did last time I had them on, I was like, I don't care, I'm wearing them.
Well, yeah, probably because when it was at the point where it's so cold, it does get sometimes back there.
All right, let me put this. Whoops, that's not a good idea. Christina will get mad at me. There we go. Christina spoils us. Okay, there we go. All right, my turn. The other thing I worked on, my second project, and you haven't seen this one in a while either, the other project was in a Knitter's Magic. I used to call it kind of my picnic bag because it's got that kind of a plaid tablecloth kind of feel to it. And this is our podiversary. Oh, Anne's opening a shop again.
Oh, is she?
Anne of Silverstead USA. It looks like she's opening her shop again.
She must have been like, man, I'm accruing too many projects. I need to...
She's very talented. So here's our 10-year podiversary bag. And I was working on my baby blue. Yeah. I did about a row and a half where we're watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And by we, she means her and Dad.
Yeah. I still loved... The thing about this ice yarn, whether it's the fuzzy stuff or not, it really does...
It works up really pretty.
Work up so pretty. It's a very nice yarn. It's one of the few acrylics that I really like. Even the fuzzy stuff which is saying a lot because I really don't like fuzzy stuff. Rena's heard me complain about the fuzzy stuff that sticks. And apparently she had a little adventure with some kind of fuzzy yarn too that was very unforgiving, that she, because she was doing a Sorabelle and it wouldn't let her like tink back and stuff. It was very difficult.
Well, most things you can tink back, you just need to take time with it to see why it's sticking.
But sometimes it doesn't.
Usually when it doesn't, because there's been points where you've gotten frustrated and I can usually pull it free.
The one I remember is unforgivable because you sat there with me and you did it, and we sat there together and tried.
I couldn't remember if you had me do it for that one.
Yeah, I did. We were working together.
More unforgivable than that even is the one I worked with.
Your fuzzy stuff.
Yeah, because you can't even see.
Can't see the stitches.
Yeah.
I don't like working with that fuzzy yarn because it's
because it's beyond fuzzy. It's a feather.
It's you can't see where your stitches are.
And I had a light color. It was just
you had white. Or cream.
I think it was a cream, maybe with a bit of pink. No, it might have been silver.
Yeah, it might have. It's
been a while since you worn it because it's not been cold enough.
Yeah. It looks cute on her.
Yeah, so it's. But regardless, it was very. I had to basically completely rewrite to make it to the size I wanted. One of those times where it's like, darn, wish that I think the yarn wasn't available here because I would have wanted to go with the yarn it required, and the substitution site gave me was not the same.
I think that
and doing a swatch for something like that is near impossible.
Oh, I bet. I find it very difficult to even work with it. Like we had when we first made stuff, when she was still mostly crocheting and I was only crocheting, we made these kind of sweater shawl kind of things. And on the edge of the cuffs, we had to have this feather stuff, and you put the yarn with a yarn piece with the feather piece.
And to be fair about it, you could see what you were doing.
But it was hard to deal with, especially if you didn't do that. I didn't like it.
Well, that was also an early project.
Yeah, I didn't like it very much. I did like the project, but I didn't like that very much. It was, I just don't like working with yarn that's fussy or sticky. It's too difficult, and I just don't want to, challenge my hands more than I need to in terms of, having to pull back and do it again and pull back and do it again.
I think I gave you the ones I made because I just didn't wear them.
Yeah, I got rid of a bunch of them, and I think I have...
Yeah, I'm not sure what you did with them.
I gave it to Goodwill, I think.
Okay.
I think I have the tan one that was really big that I like so much, and I think I have one of the blue ones. Or the red, I forget. I have like 2 of them.
Yeah.
And they're sitting in my closet, and they probably should go to somebody who could use them because they are nice. They stay on, and they were nice enough that somebody commissioned us to make one. It's just that we don't wear it.
Yeah.
But somebody might, and maybe I have to dig it out of my closet and put it in Goodwill so somebody can, because I'm not wearing it. I keep saying, oh, I might wear it. I like the length on it. Quite honestly, I probably won't wear it. So I should probably just take it out. It was my first attempt at a sweater type thing.
Right.
And I liked it. It was good, but
it was one of the few times where I've actually taken a baby step into something. Well, that wasn't quite a baby step.
It wasn't a baby step. I mean, it was easier. I mean, I think it was a rectangle, I think, and
there was some sort of sewing involved.
Yeah, you had to sew the ends together to make the sleeves. I'm not sure exactly how you did it.
Because it wasn't a big sleeve.
No. It was just enough that it kept on your shoulders because you had sleeves to keep it on.
Yeah.
And that was kind of nice. That was what attracted me to it, was the fact that you didn't have... It would stay on because your sleeves... It's like a sweater. You would just keep it on.
Yeah, now it wasn't like some sweaters I've seen where it's a very loose sweater, but it has a definite, like a real sleeve.
No, it was like a cape almost with a gathered...
Yeah.
Because it was gathered. It was like... I think it was ribbed on the... Before we did the...
Seaming around.
Seaming, and it was an elastic kind of yarn.
Yeah.
So... But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. This is what it's looking like. I think I'm about maybe a third of the way through this.
Is it are you having some tension issues, or is it just the way it's holding?
I don't see any tension issues.
Okay, I thought that it wasn't quite straight.
No, it's fine.
Okay, maybe it's just, like I said, it probably was actually just the way that you were holding it or whatever.
Yeah. So that's all I have to say about that.
And I don't have another one to show.
Okay, so what's next?
We don't have any FO. Oh,
I
no,
do.
you do.
I have an FO. You probably know what it is because you haven't seen it. So this is the project that kind of took up all my time for the last month, which is why I'm so project light. Let's see here. But I do like being able to work more on a few projects and show you big projects. You know, I can work. This is the nice thing about the current setup. We can work on several small projects. You know, just kind of do a whole bunch of a little bit, or we can settle down and do 1 or 2 or 3 and make a lot of progress.
Right.
I like that option. But this is you probably realize this isn't my Christina bag because, you know, Christina, I love this bag. This is the shawl I'm making for my friend who has cancer. And I finished it. I made some adjustments because I showed it to Talia and I said, I don't like the way this looks. It's a Surabelle for the most part. And what I decided to do after talking to Talia, kind of hashing it out, is to do kind of like the equivalent of a garter edging on it, with a little bit of like lace in the middle. And so I really liked the way it turned. I had to tink back a bit because it was way too long.
Yeah, oh yeah, it looked clownish.
Yeah.
It was
So-
clownishly long.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can see. Okay. Can you see the stitches and then the top?
Yeah,
here?
they can.
And then the edges are a little bit narrower in terms of the border because I needed to add length along the back. So I think that she can really wrap up in this without being overwhelmingly big. The wingspan, so I'm going to kind of put my hand in front of you. It's not quite past my hands. And I'm 5'5", 5'5", 5.5", you know, something like that. They say, some people say 5'5", some say almost 5'5". I used to be 5'6", I don't know. But I really like the way it turned out. I had a gazillion ends to weave in. But that's how it looks. And it will go out hopefully soon-ish. Okay. So I'm glad this is finished. Now I don't want to do anything pink for a while. Of course, I'm doing Talia's shawl, which has pinks in it, but when I get past a certain point, it'll go back into reds.
Right, it's slightly different, and also it's a different pattern.
And this is more... Oh, I guess I used that extra yarn. Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
This yarn is the same yarn that I used, and there's 3 of them in here, and it's going to go in the prize.
Yeah, it's a good thing, though, that I didn't end up needing to... That I couldn't stand the way that yarn felt in my hands.
Yeah, because I bought...
Because you wouldn't have had enough.
I bought... How much? We each bought 6.
Yeah, I think you're
So
right.
I used one of her packages. This one is going to go in the prize pack, so I'm going to leave that out here. Because I probably won't use it again. For one thing, I'm sick of the color right now. It's a beautiful yarn. It's very warm, despite the fact that it's some kind of acrylic blend.
No, it's a polyester.
Okay. But it's not all polyester.
No, it's all polyester.
I don't think it's 100% polyester.
No, yeah, it is, because
I'll look it up.
I looked it up on the site.
It's, what's it called? Something softer. What's it called?
Hold on. It'll be the only yarn yarn other than
the most recent one you purchased, probably, or close to it.
Yeah, it would have been, because I had this other pink already. So, and it's the only yarn other than Pound of Love that I've ordered in any recent memory. Let's see. It's Feels Like Butter.
Feels like butter, yeah.
It's a dusty rose, and it is let's see, 100% polyester yarn.
Okay, I've never heard of 100% polyester yarn.
Well, they made it confusing because you would look at the highlights, it says material acrylic, but I knew it wasn't acrylic, so I scrolled down where they actually type it up, and then it says 100% polyester yarn.
That's really strange, because I've never actually heard of 100% polyester.
Well, the other yarn this yarn here is 100% polyester. The other one that I can't stand the way it feels.
Yeah, I can't read on the ball band. I don't know if
Here,
you
I'll
can see
take a
it.
look and see.
I mean, I'm sure you're right. I just wanted to check to see what the ball band says. This said acrylic on there too.
100% polyester.
Okay. I need her to read when I don't put my glasses
Well,
on.
yeah.
I'm not doubting her word. I just can't see. So when I do that. Okay. Let's see. Do you have anything else?
Well, I can just wave a bag at you because it's the only thing for Shopee type thing I have.
When does journal go in?
Journal goes in before. Although I'm just gonna wave it back because there's no. It's not like I can show you anything.
Yeah, I have a fair amount of stuff to show, so she's.
And it will be done next time. I might have to record a separate video and tack it on to the end or at the appropriate point in a different video, just because.
This is going to go out with mine, probably.
Exactly.
Because this is going to the same person. Because she's a friend of both of ours.
And I don't want to have to wait that package just because I didn't manage to get it done in time for the podcast. I think if I hadn't had that week of migraine,
You might have finished.
I could have well finished it.
And I think if I hadn't had to tink back 6 to 8 inches, I would have been finished a few days earlier. But things happen, you know. Now, I have 2 journals I've been working on. And I think I showed you this journal when I had stash enhancements last month. I'm going to show you the religious one first because I can go pretty quickly. This is what this is it's a 2024 planner, okay? And I picked it up by mistake thinking it was 2025. So I said, okay, I like the setup on this better than the other one I have. And what's good about this is it has the calendar. So I can show you here.
It's got a nice setup that's not
The calendar. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you look, the calendar's all in the front instead of being
like a lot of planners have it. At least a lot of the ones we've seen, where they'll have that month's calendar look, and then you'll have a bunch of blank.
All the days.
A bunch of line pages with all the days.
But this is just, I don't know if you can see because I can't see very well on that screen, but because we're not using the big screen. So the calendar is all in the front. And then you have this blurb with a saint on it, okay? For each week you have that. And you have these pages. Now, because this is 2024, a lot of these are blank. I will go back and fill them in as I need to. So the first one I have, and I beg your indulgence in advance because I've got a lot to show, and if you don't want to see it, I apologize, because it is very heavy Catholic. We're doing a novena for the nation, and it started March 12th. So I went back and put a copy of the novena and the picture that goes with it of Our Lady of Guadalupe on the 12th and 13th. That's a very simple page. Another rather simple one, I went back and did this one just a couple days ago. It's I put it on Good Friday because it's a picture of wolves devouring a lamb, and it says, "Behold the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world." So you can see that. It's a very simple page.
And now I'm grabbing the mail.
Mail's here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I went back, and I don't have anything until like August because I was trying to keep up with the dates. So I have this one here. And this one. This page here is very little on it. The picture was already there. The only thing I have is the leaf or the little branch that in that bottom corner. That's the only thing I put on there. So this page here. Sometimes I have a lot of collage-y kind of things, and sometimes they're very simple, and sometimes there's a writing in it. I was playing around with some of my new ephemera. This is a page that I haven't figured out how to use yet. Did a little bit of my own drawing here. I'm not a very good artist, so I just play around sometimes, but nobody has to see it. And then this one, I again broke out one of my new ephemera books and looked at the stickers and things like that. I think that's all I have in this particular journal. And I finally started my other journal. Let's see here. My other journal, this one here with the little bumblebee on it. This is fun. My husband likes this. He said it looks like pop art. And if you see it that says pist, and it has my name on it, it's from an advertisement from junk mail. And so I was going to take that out and do something else with it. My husband was like, just use the whole thing.
Yeah,
so it says, psst, Marlisha, it's your turn. I've got all kinds of little owls, and I think I have Pooh things on here. Yeah, Pooh and Eeyore on there. Because you know I like Pooh, Eeyore, and all that. And then this one, this little tree, some of you might recognize that as from Kindle. And I put the little ribbon says, collect beautiful memories, and then Pooh on top. And then this rabbit, because September 1st was Rabbit. Mm-hmm. Okay, Rabbit. We always say Rabbit the first of the month. And I just felt like playing with the rabbits. So that's all the rabbits. It's hard to see. It was hard to find something to write on the black. I used silver, I used white, and finally I had a black marker. And I think you can see kind of the silver coming through the black marker. Oddly enough, the black marker showed up better than anything on the black. So, I have in the corner there, it's almost autumn. So I'm enjoying this. I realize that I don't have to rush. I don't have to do a page every day, and I don't have to do just one.
Yeah.
So, or I don't have to finish it right away.
Nope.
This first one here, I did not finish. It took me 2 or 3 days to do this one. So, in fact, these little owls, I think it was in wrapping paper that somebody gave me. I don't know if it was Tanya.
I gave it to you.
Yeah.
That's some of the wrapping paper I have, yeah.
Yeah, so it's it's wrapping paper she gave to me, and I just cut it all up. Mm-hmm. And they were so cute, little owls. So, yeah, that takes care of that for the journaling.
And I don't have any because I've been working exclusively on one project, so I had to make sure I worked on this one to show on the podcast because I have been exclusive because we do need to...
It's time sensitive.
Yeah, well, Mom can crochet a lot faster than I can knit, even, just because that's the nature of the beast.
But you do have more time than I do if you're awake.
Yeah, if I'm awake.
Yeah.
And also, the reason why it's arguable is not only does it have to be when I'm awake, it has to be when I can handle the light.
Right. Well, I have the issue of when I fall asleep. Mm-hmm. But we managed, and it's going to be fine. I've reskeined half the yarns that I showed you guys over the last couple of podcasts. I made a couple of sales since the last podcast, and there's one in the wings waiting for the person to claim it. And then I still have 6 or 8 yarns that I have to I've already reskeined 4 of them. I did not reskein my black ones yet, but I reskeined these, and I'll show you. This one is Lothlorien, I think. So and this is how it looks reskeined. You saw it before when it wasn't reskeined. And this one is, right now I have a fingering sock and a DK that have been reskeined. I have another one of each waiting to be reskeined, I think. I have about 8 skeins of yarn. I have to put these up. I have these 2 colors, and I also have Black Cauldron. Mm-hmm. Not Black Hole.
Yeah.
Sitting in there waiting to be reskeined and put in the shop. The other one is How Green Is My Valley, and this one I had a sale on from somebody, and it's already gone to its new home. So people like to say forever home. This colorway has always gotten a lot of good reviews from people. People seem to like this color. So I don't know if it's showing up true to form on there. I can't tell on that little screen.
I think it is.
But this is a really pretty color. Might make a nice pair of socks or shawl or whatever. It's a really pretty color. Especially if you like green, it's a pretty color. I need to make something similar with blues. Mm-hmm. Just take different colors and do that with those colors.
Oh, it took differently with the heavier weight.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, these 2, and actually these 4 that are left, are variants. Because I have 2 very similar dye powders, and I thought I picked up the one I normally use, but I didn't. Mm-hmm. So I put those aside because the people who ordered it asked for the specific yarn. I wanted to make sure I got the right one, and when I re-dyed it with the proper dye that I had, it wasn't that different.
Yeah,
I could hardly tell the difference. But so these I have this is one of these is a DK and one of these is a fingering sock, and the same with this. And I have one of each more over there. Plus, I think I have 3 black hole over there.
So the heavier weight of that green makes me think of that Knit Picks I made that shawl out of.
Yes, and that was one of my favorite colors of the Knit Pig Stroll, was that it was very much like this.
Well, I know I have a shawl design that's sitting there, that's in that yarn after I finish the other shawl design that's sitting there. That's a scrap one.
Right.
Because my green one isn't long enough for my taste. And I think I had a bunch of extra of it. Because I got way too much when I first picked it up.
It's a pretty yarn. Doesn't that come off on your hands?
It does.
Yeah, I thought
it does.
I used to, that was one of the first.
It's a nice heavier yarn too.
Yeah. That was one of the first yarns I got from Knit Picks. That was not, like, it was my first forays out of acrylic.
Yeah.
From a store online as opposed to like a local yarn store.
I think that was even before we done local yarn store.
Maybe. It might have been.
It was quite early on.
I know that the very first thing I got that was not from a yarn store, because I didn't know about weight or anything, was that one I got from Webb's in the cones.
Yeah.
Because it was a lace weight, and I didn't know what a lace weight was. I thought, okay, that's pretty, and it's got a lot of yardage. I didn't know what a lace weight was. It was on sale, and the color was beautiful. I finally gave it away as prizes because I couldn't do anything with it.
Right.
It wasn't that it was not a nice yarn, but it was just I couldn't do anything with it. Okay. We did have, are we basically done with the...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't think we have any life stuff to say.
No, not really.
And we don't have any real stash enhancements, except I had a little bit of tea, but I've already put it away. It's not really worth
The only
showing.
life thing I can think of is, I actually forgot to grab my darker glasses, but these are my lighter tinted glasses. They only have a little bit of the tint. The other ones are a little bit darker than my old ones, so I have a place to go when I have migraines, instead of only having the same shade.
Right.
And these actually fit. They aren't too wide. Yeah.
I did, like I said, had some tea and stuff like that, but basically it's not worth showing. I mean, I had what I have in here was one of them. And so that's all we have about that. We had a wonderful Zoom on Friday, last Friday. It was not a whole lot of people because it was, a weekend. Well, it was Labor Day weekend.
It's still summer, so people are more likely to do things outside during the...
But we had more than just us and one other person.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
And even when we have just us and one other person, it can be a lot of fun. So we enjoyed that. And
it is up on Patreon for free and paid members for people who want to watch it after the fact.
Right. Now, we do want to thank the people who commented in the group. I think most of them were on YouTube. I didn't see any at PHN this time. We do get them on PHN sometimes, but right now most of them seem to be on YouTube. So we want to thank Looney Hiker, Andrea, Paula, Meditative Crafter, I think it's Weedjorn, and Wendy, who is MacGyver, and nobody can tell me otherwise.
And I think that I actually managed to reply to most, if not all of them.
Yeah, I replied to everybody, and I didn't see anybody else, so if I missed you, I apologize. It was because you weren't there when I put my show notes together. And if there was anybody on PHN, I apologize if I missed you because, like I said, you weren't there when I put my show notes together. So, yeah, that's about all we have to say about that. It's kind of freaky to know that our next podcast will be around Halloween.
Yes.
So, I will try to get maybe some spooky type yarns in the shop, maybe. I don't make any promises. It all depends on my time and my energy levels.
Well, I know you thought about candy corn.
Somebody bought a candy corn.
Yeah, and if you weren't wanting to do whatever your personal use, the yellow could probably that you would pull would be already something that you would need to do the yarn for mine, right? It has some of the same yellows.
What, candy corn?
Yeah, does it, or is it just orange?
I don't have any more in the shop to show you, so I'm not sure.
I think it has some yellow and orange in it.
It does have orange in it because it's...
Well, I know it's orange, but I think it has yellow as well.
It does.
So you would have some of the same dye stock.
Yeah, I I think you wanted not to have any that's why I took out the Memento Mori.
Yeah, for sure. What I'm saying, I'm not saying I would want that yarn for it. I'm saying that some of the colors that you use for that, because you said that usually you have to do things in the same color family together, so you don't waste the dye you prepared. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I probably won't be doing candy corn for a while. I might do... Well, candy corn is good because it goes not only Halloween, it goes Thanksgiving and autumn in general. So
it's in a very autumnal feeling yarn.
Yeah, and I've got some salted caramel sitting up there. So I'm hoping that people take a look at that and that goes for autumn. Yeah. And I should pull out my tea colors. Yeah. And see if I can do some of those. So you keep an eye on the shop, please, if you're interested in that. Hopefully I'll be updating soon with what I have, and then hopefully I can dye some yarn up as well. I already thanked everybody who commented, so I did that, and we wish you all a very wonderful week filled with knitting and crocheting and crafting, other kinds of crafting, whatever it is that makes you happy, and we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Women Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. I believe I said episode 609, and that's a wrap.
Bye.
Bye.